This is Panyangis.com, and today we're joined by the co-founder of Cospace, Elie.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah. We've invited Elie in today to talk about digital nomads predominantly and some other things because Thailand has two layers of tourism. The backpackers, which people are going off unfortunately, and then also luxury. But we feel that digital nomads could be a great boost for the economy. And your business is based around digital nomads.
Exactly.
Firstly, tell people a little bit about you and why you're here on Koh Phangan.
Okay. So once again, my name is Elie. I am the co-founder of Cospace. We are a network of co-working and co-living properties aimed at providing all the basic necessities for digital nomads and remote workers to obviously have the opportunity to keep working while they're here, along with living accommodations. We also really put a big focus on community as well as physical and mental well-being by providing daily yoga classes. We also have free diving classes. We want healthy, happy, productive people.
That's great, yeah. And why did you decide to get into the digital nomad business?
So, I guess ideologically, first and foremost, my brother and I really love the lifestyle. We love the freedom that it provides. It's also, a wonderful, absolutely fascinating clientele to cater to. We're constantly surrounded by people that come with an incredibly high level of expertise, always willing to share. And that's just, on the day-to-day, that's just a lot of fun to surround yourself with. We also really love the fact that the digital nomad lifestyle and the movement really that's happening, because it's happening all over the world, there is a disrupting element to it, to the system that is in place, which we believe is at best outdated, at worst just obsolete, of this work, eat, sleep and repeat. And it's just for us it just really made a lot of sense. On top of that, there's also obviously a financial and business aspect to it. You're talking about an industry that where the demand greatly exceeds the supply, in the sense that there are not enough co-working, there's not enough co-living options. So these are definitely things that when we decided to get started with it, these are definitely some of the factors that we took into consideration.
And the only real kind of digital nomad jobs that I personally know about tend to be around writing.
Yes.
What other types of work do digital nomads do?
The list goes on and on. Obviously, a lot of work on social media, a lot of digital marketing, digital art. It's just SEOs. You've already mentioned copywriting. The list goes on and on. The drop shipping, and every day it seems like new opportunities just kind of pop up. We have people at our co-working offices that translate movies for Netflix. We have a lady, believe it or not, who works for Pornhub and titles the movies. The list goes on and on and on, and yet again, every day, new opportunities, new ways to make money, new ways to have a successful and productive career.
And what a lot of people have been saying during COVID, even in other countries, it's shown that more people can work remotely as well.
Absolutely. I think, in the middle of all this, nightmare that we're all living, I think the industry of the remote working and the co-working has proven, first of all, that it's a sound option. It is a safe option. And I think also the COVID has greatly accelerated the transition to this remote working opportunity. I believe and I know other people do as well, that not for companies not to provide the option of remote working is not a good one anymore. There is no sound reason behind it besides maybe company culture. But research after research have proven that productivity in the majority of cases actually increase. The happiness of the people, the freedom that comes with it. Again, this is something that people take at heart and work really hard to keep. The saved cost of, not having to pay for gas and insurance and tires. All of that creates an environment, and we are today in a position where the switch, the revolution has been, accelerated tremendously.
Yeah. And specifically here on Koh Phangan during our kind of lockdown where we can't travel, have you seen that it is a lot of digital nomads that have stayed here?
Yes.
Yeah.
So obviously not as much as we did in the first quarter of 2020. And not for the same reasons. Obviously, usually people come from Koh Phangan for the natural beauty of the place, for the beaches, for the parties, for the fact that we have incredible Wi-Fi. That's usually why they come. With the COVID, we had a good amount of digital nomad that stayed, but they stayed because they took one quick look at the situation or wherever they were coming from, whether it be from France or the United States or Netherlands or Germany, and the list goes on. And they were like, well, Thailand is giving me, a free 3 months visa. The number of cases is drastically rising from where I'm from. I most likely don't have to be stuck inside my apartment or somewhere else for 2 weeks. I'm gonna stay. And I think it's a great testament to, and I keep using the word, but to the level of freedom of movement that digital nomads have.
Yeah, and how do you think the industry will be affected the next couple of years?
Well, like I just mentioned, I think it's been accelerated.
Yeah.
People are realizing, and the fact of the matter is, at this point, everyone has at least considered or tried to figure out a way to make money on the internet.
Yeah.
Everyone, whatever you may be doing, teaching, whatever, you've at least considered it. You might have actually done some research. Now, there's the proof that, hey, maybe I don't have to stay in a big city. Maybe I don't have to, do the regular 9 to 5. But there are other opportunities. So really, this crisis that we are living through is yet again going to really push things forward.
The only kind of negative thing in Thailand at the moment is the visa situation in terms of setting up a company and having a work permit and a non-B visa doesn't really suit digital nomads because it might just be for 1 year. It's not really worth the investment, etc. Or it might be for 6 months. Having a tourist visa means they only get a short amount of time and they can't work, so they can't really be seen to be doing any work, even if it's not for Thailand. But then you have this elite visa, which is super expensive. I mean, wouldn't it be good if there was some digital nomad visa, which was, they have salaries coming in of around $1,000 or up to $5,000 a month, and most would be happy to pay for a certain digital nomad visa. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, first and foremost, obviously, to come and live and work in Thailand, there's a process that needs to be followed. As a foreign business owner in Thailand, myself, my partners, my whole companies, we've spent a great time of time, energy, money, making sure that we do things properly. So, we believe in, there is a way to do things properly. To follow and honor the rules of this great kingdom. There are already some options, in particular what's called the SMART visa. This is a government initiative that was launched, I believe, 2 or 3 years ago, which is meant to attract investment, foreign investment in particular, in specific fields, okay? Technology, science, real estate, things like that. There's a list of activities that you can apply, that you need to be doing basically to apply for it. So that already shows that Thailand is already in the mindset of creating something. You know, looking at what's happening in the world as well, and particularly in Estonia, who already has the Digital Nomad visa. Barbados just came out with the one-year visa. I have actually recently spoken to a wonderful guy called Elie, who is the creator of Digital Nomads Summit in Bali, who's actually spearheading an effort to create also a digital nomad visa in Indonesia. So there is an understanding globally, and I think little by little also in Thailand, that it's here to stay. And in the enormous majority of the cases, people want to do it, and people want to do it right. Mm-hmm. I also, you know, if you allow me, I just also want to make clear that co-working spaces, there are licenses for it, okay? So if you're provided licenses for co-working, the people that will come and use their computer over there are facing no consequences whatsoever. Okay, so we need to make that clear, because it's true that, you know, there are a lot of gray areas in Thailand. There's also a lot of, you know, myth, or I've heard this or I've heard that. There's almost zero chances.
Immigration won't come to a co-working space.
If the co-working space, if the co-working space is properly licensed, there is nothing to fear. Wow.
That's really great. So what makes a place good for digital nomads?
For like a co-working, you mean?
Yes, yeah.
Well, I think, I mean,
and the location.
In the location,
well,
of course.
Yeah.
Well, I think, you know, obviously you need to have all the basics. You know, you need good Wi-Fi. You need comfortable chairs and desk. You need plenty of power plugs. You need a fairly quiet, work-conducive environment. You're also going to need some great coffee and food. You know, these are all the basics. At Cospace, you know, we try to take it a little, you know, a step further by also providing the co-living options, which gives, you know, people that come to Koh Phangan for the first time a ready solution. I have a place to work, I have a place to stay, there's food on both our properties. That's very simple. You know, and beyond that, we also, you know, we really focus on the community aspect of it by, you know, organizing many kinds of events, from, you know, speed networking to masterminds, to just straight parties. We're actually organizing a fashion show on Friday. So that also really helps. And then obviously, you know, living in Koh Phangan, we're also very lucky because you're talking about a truly, truly magical place where, you know, there is, you know, that gives you the room to create this balance of work and life, surrounded by natural beauty, surrounded by this very diverse and multicultural crowd, while also respecting, you know, the traditions of, you know, of Thailand. I think all those factors are things that digital nomads look for, because digital nomads tend to stay in a specific place longer than the regular tourists. So these are people that have time and the desire to find out about a place, to you know, ideally becoming part of a community. And, you know, yet again, you know, for that, Koh Phangan has everything set up, because on top of our company, you know, there are other co-working spaces, there are coffee shops that will, you know, provide you, you know, a space where you could do that, the viewpoints, it's really endless.
Yeah. So tell us about Banjai D and La Casa Tropicana.
Yes, so
and the differences as well.
Of course.
Co-working.
So yet again, Cospace is the umbrella company that operates two properties at this point. The first one was Casa Tropicana. My wife and I invested in it back in January 2018. Our partner Martin, who's still with us, was also there. In December 2018, so less than a year later, my brother joined us, and little by little we started implementing the co-working concept. In July 2019, we acquired the Banjaidi, which is a much bigger property with a beautiful pool, incredible view as well. And the idea behind Cospace is that we have put together a concept, a system, a project, where everywhere you go, where we go, we will have a co-working, we will have co-living options, we have restaurants available, and thanks to the fact that it's bigger, we have also added a yoga studio at Banjaidi. So that is always going to be the basis to what Cospace wants to offer, on top of the community, obviously. But we also really have at heart for each property to kind of stand on their own. So Casa Tropicana, which at first was only a restaurant and a small hostel, offers this really cozy, inviting, really cool and relaxed atmosphere. While Banjaidi is a much more, I wouldn't say luxurious, but it's quite much bigger and almost impressive in some ways. But they both cater to our various clienteles and providing each one enough space to do whatever it is that they want without bothering the other one. So if you want to just co-work, you'll have the place to do so. If you're coming just to use the hotel or the co-living area, you will be able to do so. Just the restaurant, no problem. There is no overlap unless it's desired, and obviously we try to facilitate this overlap by all the various events that we create.
That's really good job.
Thank you.
And have you had to kind of brief your staff on this digital nomad world? Is it something they might not have accounted for in terms of supporting the client?
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, for Cospace, proper training of the staff is absolutely key. I come from over 20 years of experience in fine dining restaurants and five-star resorts throughout the United States. My brother has extensive experience in corporate settings. My wife and my partner also worked in. So the service which comes through proper training is very key. Obviously, since the majority of our staff is either Thai or Burmese, there was a culture gap that needed to be bridged. But that was done fairly seamlessly because they're all incredible people that have really at heart to please and to help. Obviously, if you need a blog written or boost your SEO, they probably won't be the best person to talk to. But yet again, the clientele that we deal with is in general so easygoing, so appreciative of the services that we provide and the level of service that we provided at. That it's the staff doing what they do is usually more than people are expecting.
Yeah, for sure. And finally,
yes.
How do you see the future of Koh Phangan in terms of tourism?
Tourism and digital nomads, right? Yes. Yeah. Well, I believe, and obviously I may not be the most objective person. Yeah. But I believe the future of Koh Phangan as a digital nomad hub is very bright. I mean, no later than February, Koh Phangan was actually ranked #1 on nomadlist.com, which is the reference for digital nomads, the top websites around the world. With the addition of Cospace and the other ones that have kind of laid the foundation for the services that are required by digital nomads. And yet again, this incredible setting where you can enjoy yourself, you can party, you can be in connection with the nature, you can meet incredible people like yourselves. There are places where you can have your kids taken, looked after. The hospitals are great. There are incredible restaurants. The list goes on. And my dream is to see Koh Phangan, becoming one of those destinations along the lines of Chiang Mai and the Balis and Porto, as a not to miss destination.
Yeah, it's an exciting prospect to have
very much so.
Another layer of not just party or yoga or diving.
Absolutely.
We've now got another
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's yet again because although not big, the island is big enough for providing you the space to do what you have to do, to take your meetings, to meet your deadlines, to make your money, and then when you're done, completely disconnect.
Yeah.
Unplug, and then
Watch the sunset.
yes, which are definitely should be obligated here.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Elie. It's an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much.
You.